Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is Darius and today I want to talk about your YouTube channel art. I'm going to walk you through the whole process step by step on everything that you need to know about making a channel art. We're going to look at how to design your channel art, how to make it look professional, how to make sure that everything is in the right place as you want it to be, and also how to make sure that it displays properly on any sort of platform, whether that be mobile phones, desktop computers, or even a television. As an example, we're going to be looking at my main channel, Vlogs of Knowledge, which has about 6,000 subscribers, and we're going to see how I made the channel art for that channel, and also why I did it the way I did, and why it's been working out great for me so far. And by the way, if you're not subscribed to my main channel, you should, because you're missing out. Link is in the description. So now we're going to go over to my computer screen where I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to create a very nice and professional channel art. Alright, how's it going, guys? So now we're here on my Vlogs of Knowledge channel. This is my main channel. This is where I do everything that I talk about on this channel. And what we're concerned with today is we want to see how you can change the channel art, how you can make a channel art, and how you can make it fit properly. Here you see I have these social media links that are properly placed to call them to social media. I have a very nice title here that's telling the people what the channel is called. I have some nice little characters here, which kind of gives you an indication that this might be a history channel with some nice characters, some nice animations. It generally does a good job of getting people curious as to what my YouTube channel is about. And the social media things here are very important because we also want people to follow us on social media and not just YouTube. It's very important to not have all your followers in one place. It's very important to have them spread out, to have them on all these different platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, so that should anything happen with one of them, well, you're not going to lose your entirety of your followers. You're still going to have a lot of them. You're still going to have them on Instagram, for example, or Facebook or Twitter. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did to make this. Now, to do this, you need a photo editing software. For my purposes, what I do use is I use Photoshop. I would recommend Photoshop for anybody that's like serious about making it big on YouTube, that's serious about getting quality photos for YouTube, but also for Instagram and Facebook. Photoshop is literally the best in the game. It's the most recommended program, but it does cost a little bit of money. Now I can understand that not everybody has a lot of money to spend on these things. Like YouTube already may have some startup costs, and then if you want to go and get Photoshop, it can get a little bit expensive. For that, there are some free alternatives out there. You can just Google them on your own. You can find these free alternatives. In a lot of things, they'll be just as good as Photoshop. In some things, they won't be as good. It really depends. I'm not too familiar with them. I don't know exactly what kind of features they have, what kind of features they're lacking. But for our purposes, Photoshop or not Photoshop, just get any photo editing software, because what we're doing is really simple. We're just putting a little bit of text, we're putting some images, and that's kind of it. That's really all that we're doing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Photoshop. I'm going to show you exactly how I did my channel art, so that you can just sort of get yourself familiar with the process and see that it's really not that hard to design a professional looking channel art that's going to get people curious and interested in your channel in just a couple of minutes. So now I'm going to Photoshop. Everything is hidden, but I'll just unhide everything so you see all of the things. So this is the channel art. This is exactly what we had here. It's exactly that. The only difference is this one is a lot bigger. There's a lot more real estate here. And the purpose for this is that people watch YouTube on different devices. They watch it on computers, they watch it a lot on mobile phones, and there are some people that watch it on TV and tablets. It does happen. Although there are a minority of people, they still do happen. And this is how my channel art will show up to somebody that's watching it on TV. TV it usually has a very big screen, so there's a lot of real estate for your channel art to be. So even those people that watch me on TV, I still want them to have a nice experience about my channel. I still want them to really be interested and curious about my channel. So I optimize my channel art to really fit on all platforms equally. And it's really simple. Like, I'll show you how you can optimize so that you just have a one channel art that's optimized, and then no matter where people play it, it'll still fit. It'll look good on any other on any platform. So I'm going to show you just a little bit, just a quick overview of how I did my channel art. I'm not going to go in depth as to really the details of it, but I'll just show you a little bit the process and the sort of the logic that I went through to create this, so that you can hopefully replicate this on your own and get a very professional channel art for your channel too. So now what I'll do is I'll just hide everything from view, and we'll start from the beginning and we'll work our way up one layer at a time. So this is obviously a transparent layer. And before we start, I just want to show you the image size that I'm working with. So you go to image and then you click image size and you'll get this window that pops up. The image size that is recommended by YouTube, it's the exact image resolution that's going to fit on all platforms, is 2560 by 1440. Now you don't necessarily need to have this exact resolution. It will work with other resolutions, but this is just the best way that you can go about it. This is really the optimal way that YouTube suggests. And I would also suggest that you follow this too. I mean, it gives you a lot of real estate. You can do a lot of things with this resolution. So the first thing that I did is I put just a very simple color background. Now, obviously you can put whatever color background you want. It's entirely dependent on your preferences. I'm not gonna go into that. We'll just move on to the next layer. The next layer is sort of this kind of oblique bar that I have here with a nice design that kind of makes it look a little more alive, a little more interesting than just a very simple background. Because I mean, if it was just a simple background, it would have been a little bit boring in my opinion. So how I did this is simply I copied the first layer, I duplicated it, and then I just, I'll show you what I did. If you press Ctrl T, this brings you to, you can resize your layer. But the purpose of this is I'm just gonna show you how the layer is placed. So if I resize this layer a bit smaller, you'll see that it's just a simple layer like this. So what I did is I resized it. Let's just undo, okay. I'll just click this, don't apply. I resized it, I angled it the way I wanted it to, and I just put here a little drop shadow. It's a setting that you can put in Photoshop. I don't know about the other photo editing softwares. They have to have some sort of shadow mechanism, but in Photoshop you just put a drop shadow, you angle it, and it gives you that. Moving on, next what we have is our text. So the text, I mean, it's really simple, it's really straightforward. It's vlogs of knowledge, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. and I just put a little YouTube logo so people know that they can find me on YouTube Wednesdays at 3 p.m. which is usually when I upload my videos. I want people to sort of know what to expect. I want them to know that every single Wednesday at 3 p.m. there will be a new Vlogs of Knowledge episode. It's sort of what YouTube also wants from YouTubers. At least that's the direction that it looks like they're going into. They want people to, sort of like Netflix, you know, you have different shows that come out on different days of the week, and every week you know that this show is playing. Every, like say Mondays for example, there's a certain show that's playing. You know that every Monday at 8 p.m. there's a show that's playing. So that's kind of the strategy that I'm going with my YouTube channel here. Then we have my little characters here. Now these are simple for me because I draw my characters directly into Photoshop, and it's really easy for me to just copy them and paste them here. I put the same effects on all of them, drop shadow, drop shadow, drop shadow, just so that it makes it a little more alive. It makes it look a little bit more real and more interesting. And then I have the social media arrows here. Now here I just put them, you know, it's a text of social media, and it's an arrow that I just got off Google. I just typed in arrow and I got the image, I put it there. I overlapped it with a color. It's called color overlay, so that simply means that I just put a color. It was originally red. I just made it a little more pale. Now, this is all good and all, but you may be asking, how was I able to know exactly where everything goes? How was I able to know that this social media would fit exactly here, exactly like perfectly, so that it links to my Instagram? Well, for that, what you need what they call it a template. It's a template that's going to show you exactly how to design your channel art to make it fit on, for one, all devices, and also to make it fit aesthetically, to make everything centered, to make everything fit properly. Because like you see, this is a very big picture, but here I managed to make it fit perfectly. So you have to know really kind of what you're doing. And for this, you just get a template. You can Google a template, or you can use the one that I have here. I'll be linking this in the description. This is the template that I was using. I got this off Google a few years ago, and I've been using it ever since because YouTube hasn't really changed their channel art proportions, their dimensions, so you can still use this. Once again, there's a link in the description for this template. So looking at the template here, we can see that the resolution is 2560 by 1440, and that's for TV. So on a TV, this is everything that's gonna see on your channel art, which makes sense, right? This is everything that people see on my channel art when they are on TV. Then here is what they see on desktops and mobile devices. This says that this is the desktop minimum and mobile. So this you should really focus on if you're on if your audience is largely centered on mobile. You should focus on this. You can play around with this, but really this area is the one that you should really focus on. And for the desktop, the maximum is this, and that's how I knew that the social links had to go here, because I knew that the desktop extended all the way to here. And what I did, I kind of just eyeballed it. I looked at the links where they were. I looked at kind of the proportions of this, and I'm like, I think somewhere around here would be good. I just did it once, literally. I didn't really re-edit it. It worked the first time. And you can always just export a file from Photoshop. You can upload it onto YouTube. You can always see what it looks like. YouTube will also give you a preview of what it looks like on all devices. And then if you're not satisfied with it, well, you can change it. You can change it to however you want. Now, before I just finish this video, we had this template here, right? A great tip for anybody that's using Photoshop or any other photo editing software, instead of always having to hide it and then unhide it, you know, because when you unhide it, you kind of forget where the things were. You kind of forget where the desktop max was, where the mobile minimum was. A trick, sorry. Just make the opacity, which simply means just make it transparent. Make it like 30%, 40% transparent. And then what you can see is you can see the template, and you can also see your image behind it. So in that case, you can really center it how you want it properly. You can even put some grid lines in Photoshop. You can press Ctrl-R to have a ruler so that you can really center it however you want. That's entirely up to you. You can play around with it. You can do whatever you want. I've just shown you the basics of how to create a channel art on YouTube. Now, to actually put this on YouTube, this will be the last thing that I'll show you today. It's really easy. You just press Control, you save. So what I did is I'll save it here. Make sure to save it as either a JPEG or a PNG. I usually do PNG. It's personal preference, because PNG also allows you to have transparent backgrounds, which we don't need necessarily here, but for other types of pictures like my drawings and everything, I need transparent backgrounds. So that's really useful in that case. JPEG does not support transparent backgrounds as far as I know. So you would click save. I already saved it, but we'll replace it. It doesn't matter. And then what we'll do is we'll go onto YouTube. And then when you hover over your channel art, there's a little pen here. You can click it and then edit channel art. It'll bring up this page here. You just select a photo from your computer, which is literally the one that we just saved here. You choose it and it's gonna upload. And here it shows you how your channel art will look on all types of devices. So on desktop, it's gonna look like this. On TV, it's gonna look like this. And on mobile, it's gonna look like that. If you wanted to, you can adjust the crop, which simply means you can make it smaller or bigger or however you want it. The reason it doesn't let me make it bigger is because that's the biggest size that YouTube, I believe, allows. And remember, we also set the image size to be optimal with what YouTube wants. So if you're doing it the optimal way, you're not gonna need to you're not gonna need to crop it in any way. So the crop, will just leave it here. Go to devices preview, and then you just click select, and you can just close this, and you see it updated my channel art. It didn't change because I just literally uploaded the same channel art as before. But yeah, so that's how you change your channel art on YouTube. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that you found it useful. And if you did, please leave it a big like, share it to a friend who maybe wants to start a YouTube channel but doesn't really know how, and also make sure to click that subscribe button, because it really does help me out a lot. And by the way, if you're still not subscribed to my main channel, you should, because once again, you're missing out. My name has been Darius, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you all in the next one.